It's Saturday night tea time in 1977 all over again.
Hi everyone, Tarl Guy123 here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Doctor Who The Exxilons. Now this is the fourth Doctor adventure, written and directed by Nicholas Briggs, as you can see there. And of course it features Tom Baker as Louise Jameson, who played the fourth Doctor and Leela. And it also features John Leeson as K9, as you can see there. Cover art is rather simple, but nevertheless quite a nice cover art. You've got some figures in the background there. You've got Tom Baker reaching across to rub his own hair. Don't know why, but then you have Leela there and K9 shooting at something, presumably the Tarl, who are holding these spears to him and Leela. In fact, it just looks like they're holding the spears to K9. And then you have some Exxilons symbols here, and the Audio Adventures of Doctor Who against the white background there. So then onto the spine here, you've got the fourth Doctor logo there, Doctor Who The Exxilons, and 4.1 is the release number. What I also quite like about this, there as you can see the fourth Doctor head, is that it's blended into the background, whereas a lot of the main range releases kind of just tend to stick an image on there, which from afar looks okay, but when you get up close you can kind of like tell that is just an image stuck on there. But anyway, here is your back, written and directed by Nicholas Briggs. There's your blur, planet E9874. It's a planet it's set on, so a bit of mystery as to what that planet is. And here you have some other stuff, the cast there. Runtime, 6 minutes approx, new Doctor Who logo. And since it is 60 minutes, it is only a one-disc release, but to me this doesn't feel like it's an underdeveloped story. It feels like it fits the runtime very well, although some other fourth Doctor adventures don't really feel that way, such as a lot of these, which is series 3 there. I've got all of them, so if you would like to request a review of any of them, feel free to do so in the comments below. Let's just put that back on there. Get that. There we go. And then we have the booklet here, the other side. I don't really like this bit too much with the fourth Doctor logo. It just stands out to me, unfortunately. I like the text though, but I feel they could have chosen a less colourful logo, as there are quite a few different ones. I'll just get this out. But anyway, and finally we have the inside here, which is rather simple, and I know many people have been complaining that it's been reduced. It used to be a bit thicker, but now it's only this one single bit of paper, which is rather unfortunate, to be honest. You used to have writers and directors or producers or whatever notes, but here you've only got writers' notes and the credits. Could be better, but you know, it's not really too much to complain about, I guess. But what about the story itself? Is there anything to complain about in the story itself? Unfortunately, there is rather a lot to complain about. Let's start off with some positives first. It is great to hear Leela, the Doctor, and K9 all back together again. There are some wonderful bits between them. K9 doesn't get too much to do in this, but nevertheless it is wonderful to hear them all together. And you know, Tom Baker does a wonderful job as the Doctor, and he plays off against Ergu, who is this primitive leader of the Tarl, and you know, they just get a sort of bromance going between them, and it's wonderful. And he calls him Everywhere Man and whatnot. It's just a wonderful kind of like double act they've got going on there. And I think it's Tim Trelaw who plays that, who will be playing the third Doctor in the upcoming third Doctor Adventures, or will be playing the narrator if you don't like the idea of it being recast. But anyway, back to this. He is wonderful in this. The two get on wonderfully well, and you know, it's just some wonderful lines between the two. And despite Ergu being this rather simpleton, this rather simple character, it still works out quite well. And also the kind of like savage background of the Tarl works quite well with Leela's character. Even though she doesn't get as much to do with them, she's more with the Locoyuns. I think, does it say that on the back? Yep, the Locoyuns, who have a bit of a mystery going on about them. She spends more time with them, you know, and to be honest, that side of the story does let her down. Leela is good in it. Well, Louise Jameson is good in it, acting-wise. Leela doesn't get too much to do, she ends up imprisoned for a lot of it and whatnot. K9 also doesn't get too much to do, as I previously mentioned, so it's more on the Doctor's shoulders this time, which is a bit unfortunate, to be honest. You know, Leela just feels like she's there to carry that side of the plot with the Locoyuns, and then obviously there's the title of the Exxilons, which is a bit deceiving. You might think they're one race, but it's actually another, but once you get listening to it, it's rather obvious which race is which, and it doesn't really leave much mystery, to be honest. It doesn't take a genius to work out who are the Exxilons in this, what their role is, and you know, the soundtrack does sound a lot like Death to the Daleks, maybe a bit better than Death to the Daleks. It does kind of like have those callbacks to it, but for the most part, it is a decent soundtrack, nothing spectacular, but it's good enough. And unlike the King of Sontar, which is the first release of Series 3, this, as the first release of Series 4, feels rather simple, you know, like it goes back to basics. It doesn't push the boundaries like King of Sontar did, and you know, it doesn't test the relationship or anything. It doesn't have anything big going on at the end of it. It's basically just a simple run around romp, which in Nicholas Briggs' defence is what he does best. He does these simple romps best, but when you look into them, you know, more than one listen, it does get rather boring, unfortunately. The characters are rather bland. Hugh Ross does a good job as the baddie in this, but you know, he slowly drifts into madness across the story, but as a character he just isn't that interesting. It's more the performance that interests you. And also Daisy Dunlop as, I can't remember the character's name, where is it, Trexa. She's probably the most interesting of the Locoyuns. And even then, she's not overly interesting. And Jacqueline King as, we're going to have to turn it around again, Kalura. See, their names aren't that memorable. Not their names, sorry, the characters aren't that memorable, which is why I keep forgetting their names and have to turn it round, which is unfortunate. But Kalura, yeah, she doesn't get too much to do in this either. She's rather a bland character, you know, rather a caricature in a way. But anyway, the Exxilons as a whole, it's enjoyable for the first listen. After that, it's not really worth that much, to be honest. I think I'd go 6.5 out of 10 for this. So, thanks for watching this review of the Exxilons, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. So, that's all I've got to say for this. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.
Scanning. Yes, there is something strange about this beacon. I sense it.
Define strange, Mistress.
I do not know, something...
You will move away from the beacon or I will have you shot!
The Locoyuns have powerful weapons. If you attack them, many of your warriors would die.
Move back!
What are you waiting for? It's just one small machine and a sick girl. Open fire. Kill them both.
Mankawa Rilacha!